So this is very important for us. So somebody can read the shloka and then the translation. Somebody would like to do that. Please voice out. Mataji's Prabhuji. You can just look at the screen and yeah, Mataji.
Shall I read?
Yes, Mataji. Swati Mataji. Yes. Please read the shloka, then the translation.
Bhagavad-gītā 2.35. Bhayadranad uparatam mamshyante tvam maharata yesham shatvam bahumato bhutva yashyati lagavam. Translation. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battle out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anand Rupa Prabhu, can you move to the next shloka? Yeah, somebody else can read this shloka and the translation.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
36. Avachyavadanshya bahun vikashyanti tavahitaha nindanta tava samathyam tato dukkataram tu kim. Translation. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Who would like to read the next shloka? This is the last shloka. 3 shlokas for today. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to read this shloka and the translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Shall I read?
Yes, Amrita Mataji.
Hato va prapashyasi swargam jitva va bhokshyasi mahim tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nichayah. Translation. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, all the Matajis. Okay, so these 3 shlokas is after what Arjuna's all those reasons and the purpose for not fighting, which were explained by him. Then Krishna gave a little bit of chastisement. Then he's explaining what happens and what is necessary. So let us go through some of the points which will be helpful for us also. Okay, so here is something which there are 2 things. If you look at Arjuna's actions, something like he wants to run away from the battlefield, or he wants to run away from the problems he's facing. Sometimes for us also we do go through these things. But there are 2 things. One is walking away, and the other thing is running away. Now, walking away from certain problems we face in life is not the same as running away. Okay, for example, we might be driving a car, okay, and it might be a very important meeting or important person or a place we have to meet, and it's very urgent also. Say suppose somebody comes in between and there's a commotion going on. So we may decide to ignore that and not confront that person because our intention is to reach the meeting or the purpose on time. So we might decide to tone down. We might not get on to that level or give the exact uh, you know, uh, chase or anything with that person. So sometimes it happens with us also. If we are very, very much in a hurry, we will ignore that moment and we will just mind on to our business. So similarly, many of our life problems are not worth fighting. Okay, so that's what I was trying to mean here, that because we are always ruled by our attitude, and we may think that turning away from certain problems or certain issues we get in our life, we are running away cowardly. I'm not so much brave enough. Okay, but not all the turning away is the same as running away. Okay, so they might be walking away because we will see the real purpose of our, there's a difference, okay, between the two, because the attitude and the purpose. So that's one example which we can refer to, the car example, where I was talking about. So when we run away from a problem, our consciousness is consumed by the the scaring of the problem itself. Um, so our only concern will be somehow, run from for some refuge somewhere where somebody doesn't care for us. Okay, and it doesn't matter for us. So as long as I'm away from the problem, that is the attitude someone will have. So when Arjuna, is facing, there are relatives in front of them. So Krishna is trying to tell him that, okay, you are facing this problem, and they're your own people. Now you're trying to, run away from this. You're not trying to walk away, or you're trying to running away. So he is reminding you that what happens to your enemies when you do such action. Okay, your actions will be termed in a different way, but your motivation or your intentions, they will never understand. Your whatever the running away, what the actions, that is what they are going to see. But in Bhagavad-gītā, that there's another place he recommends that. It is kind of contradicting. So here in this sloka, he's telling that running away is not a good option. But there's another place where he says that there's a person, he recommends that yogis who renounce the world, go to secluded place, practice meditation, they look for liberation. All this have been explained. So we can walk away not just by physically distancing ourselves from the irritation, but also emotionally turn away from them. So the Gita recommends that emotional distancing, what Arjuna got those urges, okay, to tolerate the unpleasant situations uh, in the course of what are, the life dualities. We have so many things, good, bad, happening in our life. So many things which is required, so many things that are not required, unwanted desires. So all these things occur. So how to handle that? Krishna is explaining here. When we walk away from these problems, either physically or emotionally, we focus on what we are moving towards, not moving away from them. So that is what I want to say. This focus, you can say this is positive. This positive focus makes walking away spinelessness, but mindfulness is required. Okay, so maybe this is kind of very hi-fi thing what I'm telling, but please understand. Then you can stop me anywhere. When we uh, do something, there are three things in us always. There's the perception. Perception is nothing but based on your action, what the other person will perceive, what he will, think about you. Then there's action, what I did the action, and there's motivation. Now the perception I cannot change, because whatever he has perceived, that I cannot change. The action I can change. Always I can change. And motivation nobody can see. Um, I hope everybody is understanding. There are three things. One is perception, one is action, and another thing is motivation. Perception is something which the other person, opposite person, sees in me, and he's able to understand something. So perception can be different. If I'm standing here and doing something, there will be 10 people, and there will be having 10 different perceptions about me. Okay. But I would have performed only one action. the perceptions might be different by that person, those people who are standing opposite me, but they will never understand my motivation. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so similarly, uh, what Krishna is trying to tell here, say people that it is it is your action which people will see and not our motivation, because they cannot see that. So Arjuna running away, or just giving up everything and going away from there, will not help him. And people will just scrawn him, as in they'll just tear him, and they will talk so many things. This is what Krishna is trying to tell here. So these things are very important for us to understand when we also do certain, uh, you know, uh, actions, what we perform. For example, when we become a new devotee, when we came into this organization, I started wearing tilak. I started wearing dhoti kurta. So my actions also were somewhat, controlled. I would not do certain things publicly, somebody confirms me, I will not do the same thing what he was doing. Okay, so there's a sense of, there's a consciousness running in me when I'm doing, I'm this attire. So there's something controlled mind also. So that's why Shastras also explain that when I'm in a certain situation, and even Acharyas has explained that when you're in a spiritual life, your actions also change, because your desires change, your actions change, and there's a tone down also. So what Krishna explains in different chapters about how to control anger, how to control your emotions, those things really work when you start practicing the spiritual life. Okay, so this is something which is very important for us to understand. Uh, One thing in 2.36 is the opposite person who is going to talk about you directly to you, or you hear from someone, that is something which we cannot take. Okay, so we have seen that more than physical, the emotional or the words which we hear from others, or directly or indirectly, is going to hurt us a lot, because the when they talk about my character, when they talk about my uh, personality, okay, that's where I'm going to get to hit. If I get a scratch, or somewhere I got hurt, it may pain for a while, it may hurt for a while. That maybe I can bear, but something which somebody spoken wrong about me, um, that especially affects me a lot. Okay, and it keeps running in my head always, and that is something which I will not be able to sleep properly. There'll be no sound sleep. Very unkind words that we go through when sometimes we have seen that when we have loved ones, we have a fight. They talk something, in that anger, in that mode. They scold you. They tell so many things. Then we'll be like, is it my wife had these things in her mind about me? This is the opinion she had. Okay, is this the opinion my father and mother have? Okay, so that hurts me, and sometimes we have seen people go to extreme ends also. Okay, so I'm talking about the negative part first, just to understand why Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Okay, so we also face this. There's so many things which negativity builds, and based on that, our actions also change. Okay, this is the opinion I have. Our character itself will change. I'll not behave like this. I will not talk to them. I will not. We take so many decisions based on whatever the other person. This happens in our day-to-day life, be it in the office or be it in the house, with our family members, amongst our relatives, amongst our friends. Why do we do not maintain good relations? Our relatives, we talk to somebody, we do not talk to, sometimes we were talking and sometimes we stop talking. Why? Because they spoke bad about you. They spoke something against your opinion. Okay, so when we hear these things, that is how it is driven to us. So, though it may not be true, okay, you might have not done something what they're telling. So that is where it gets hurt a lot. Okay, so we have to understand this, and of course the positive side also is there here. That's these words which are there. Here Krishna is talking about unkind words, okay, and talking about Arjuna's ability. So similarly, we always want to, even though we may not be best, but we want to be appreciated. Somebody speaks to you very nicely, somebody talks about your ability very nicely, or the things you have done very nicely, then we get motivated, we are very happy. Okay, so and we were going through very nice time, so that is how it is working. So here Krishna is talking about how a person's the entire motivation comes down just because of his particular action. So Arjuna is going to do something which he might have, been peaceful, staying away from fight, not killing the enemies, but he would have not lived a peaceful entire life. Okay. So Krishna, anyways, in 2.37, he talks about how uh, you know performing the duties was very important. That you get killed, anyways, you get killed and you die and you attain the heavenly planets, or you're conquering and you're going to enjoy. So he is talking about something now. He is bringing in the neutrality. Okay, how the neutrality is very important for us. So the previous two shlokas I was talking in different terms. Now here he talks about how a neutrality can change person's attitude also. Okay, and one thing people have always spoken about is the determination might come down because say suppose I work and or say suppose I want to do something, so I'll say I'll not go for the result, whatever it is, whether good or bad or positive or negative. So then what is the purpose of doing that when you don't have that motivation or which drives you to achieve? We are always driven by profits. Either education, I want to achieve something, I want to get something in my life, I want to get promoted in my office, or I want to do something today. So we are all driven by profits means not just in terms of money, in achieving that goal. Okay, now this is something positive attitude will have always. We never keep that, okay, I want to just get quit from the company, I just want to fail, that's why I will study. Nobody does that. Okay, so there is a motivation which runs. I'm not talking about that to be given up, I'm talking about the end result. We are always driven by the end result first. um, any work I want to do, first I will think about what will happen, the end result. I will not see how the process is. For example, I'll tell you, this happens with us. When we come into spiritual life, we do this on a daily basis. We are chanting, we are reading, we are doing so many things in a day. So sometimes what happens is we do not have the end goal. Okay, we do not think about that. Today I have to just finish my whatever things are there. And I'm always like, whether I get Krishna or not, uh, what is the purpose of all doing this? Okay, we are just doing it. The results is what we are missing out. Okay, I hope this is confusing for so many people, but I'll tell you how it is. Okay, so another example I'll give you. Okay, a person is going to work. Okay, he wants to work because he wants to get salary, and he wants to get with that salary. He has the desires, so many things to be purchased. Now he will decide based on the what salary he's getting, what salary he's getting. So that is where his motivation is running. So here Arjuna is being told by Krishna that you either do it or don't do it. There are two things. Okay, you do it, you get killed, you go to heavenly planets, or you don't do it. Okay, that also there's a result for that. Okay, positive and negative, both he is telling. And also he's telling about conquering also. Okay, you win, you get something. You don't win, you die. There's something else you'll get. So thing is the determination, and determination is required to do some action in our daily life. So we'll not see the end result first, but what has to be planned. That is very important. Um, for example, is a paramour. If somebody knows this, paramour is something like uh, extramarital affair. Okay, so a woman is married, but still, don't take me negative. A woman is married, still, she has a person she likes the most. She will always think about that person, and she'll be careful that she should not get caught. Okay, this is what happens. Many of the cases, if you see, they'll try to meet each other. She'll try to serve him, and at the same time, she's thinking, I should not get caught. She is cautious of everything. Okay, so that is something which, of course, in this, in general term, if I say, that is something which, we're very wrong. Okay, but look at the intentions of that lady, or that, man, that I should not get caught. Okay, so here Krishna is talking about something which we have to do out of determination and not out of the end result. We are always driven by end result, whether this is profitable or not. This is the mistake we will do. Okay, as a student studies, certain subject. I have gone through this also. Whether this topic is good or not. Okay, whether what will happen, should I skip this or not? This is easier or not? I'll be thinking like that. Okay, so this happens to us a lot of time. Any action we are doing. Okay, so even the same thing carries when I'm doing certain work. They'll give me something to do a project, or they'll give me some file. They'll tell me to create certain things. So then what happens? There's something in my mind. Okay, if I should I do this? Is it easy for me? And how much time it will take? Whether it will be completed on time. So I will always think about those things, how the end result will be. But I would have not put my head or put my hands into the process itself. So people will not come to spirituality or spiritual life thinking that what is the benefit I'm going to get. There are benefits in spiritual life, but they'll just go away because they are not seeing any immediate benefits. Okay, so in Shastra there are two things which I told. One is Shreyas and one is Prayas. So prayers is something which is immediately giving you pleasure or results. Shreyas is something which you get for a long term. That might be difficult in the beginning. That might be something which is challenging. There are some issues with you will face, but in the long run, it is very good for yourself. Okay, but everybody, if we see today's generation or today's world, how it runs is on prayers. Prayers means I want immediate effect and immediate pleasure or the results driven. Okay, so you ask somebody, you talk about karma and your this one, your life, everything. They'll say, why does it matter? I'm going to enjoy this life. I'm going to die. Let's see that later. I want to enjoy as much as possible in this life. They don't care about what is there next because I'm not going to see that. I'm not going to experience. I'm not going to compare the previous life also. I'll just enjoy and die. That is something they want to immediately enjoy whatever is there in this life, and they come to that conclusion that there is only one life, and let me enjoy everything and die. Okay, So that is one attitude people will have. That is the thinking they will have. So these things are happening with people. Okay, this is the philosophy many people will be running under. This is happening. Okay, so something which is called prayers, everyone is looking for. We want immediate actions, and results also is required. So that happens. And there is something called as shreyas, which you might go through certain difficulties now. There might be if I want to achieve something, I have to take the trouble, but it is very good result in the end. Example is about the great devotees of the Lord, who went through a lot of troubles, or they went through a lot of penances in the beginning. They had to give up so many things, sacrifice so many things, but at the end, they received the Lord Himself. Dhruva Maharaj, okay, Prahlad Maharaj, okay, nice examples. Ambrish Maharaj, there's a very nice example. So there are a lot of devotees also. Even if we take Srila Prabhupada also, if you see or read Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, he was goal oriented. His goal was to give the Krishna consciousness to everybody, and he did all types of means to give this to the people, be it in a book form or a kirtan form, or in a the book form, or anything, or preaching form. So he was trying to do that for a very long time. So that is something which he went through a lot of trouble. That means he did not have proper place to sleep. He did not have a proper food to eat. Okay, he went through a lot of things. He did not have money. But at the end, if we see, if we had thought back then that I don't have money, I don't have proper place to sleep, I don't have anybody to support. So what is the use of doing this? So we would have not seen this moment. Just by I was reading the Leelamrita. So in Leelamrita, when Prabhupada was in India, that was before going to America. So uh, he he was in Delhi. Okay, so he wanted to go to Kolkata. He did not have money to travel. He was asking many people that at least for the train ticket. And that's something which he was because in Kolkata there is a Gaudiya Matha. They he was asking if you can give me a place. I want to do my writings, the commentaries. He was a very scholarly person. Okay, and people knew that this kind of person. He was very very intelligent, but unfortunately, Krishna made such a way that he did not have money, or he did not have those resources. And in fact, in Lilamrita, we see that he did not have proper cloth also to wear. Okay, today we are having this moment. We are enjoying. We are going through reading so many things. We have temples, everything, but he did not have a proper set of clothes. Also, he had only two sets of white kurtas and white dhotis when he had taken that vanaprastha. That means he was away from home, but he had not yet taken the sannyasa. Okay, that is vanaprastha stage. So he did not have proper cloth also. His dhoti was little torn, kurta was little torn. So he had only two kurtas and two dhotis. So, but still he continued writing. In that also he was writing the commentaries on Bhagavatam, and he was writing this Bhagavad-gītā also. So that is the personality we see. He was goal oriented. Whatever the issues were there, he just wanted to give this Krishna consciousness to everybody. So that is the whole understanding of what Krishna was telling, that the determination was required for your actions, and not see the end result. Okay, Arjuna was always looking at the end result. What will happen? What will happen? This is not successful. Okay, this is something which is not in my plate. But here we see that Krishna is talking about how a person can be motivated, whether the results are, what it is going to be achieved. Okay. So this is very important lesson for us, that we have to be at the neutral stage. Of course, there will be always pulling that, I should always be, result-seeking person. But our motivation should be little changes should required. The purpose also is very much required. So then there will be a lot of changes in us. Okay. So these are the things important in these three shlokas. So I hope everybody has taken certain points here. Because it's not talks about any pastime, or it doesn't talk about related to any this one, but we can connect to our lives what these three shlokas are meant. Okay, it talks about mainly about our ability. It talks about our determination. So we should not get demotivated. Today's world, we see that a lot of youths, they commit suicide. They are very demotivated even for smaller things. They go to extreme ends. Either they get into drugs or they get into suicidal thoughts. But these kind of, the process of understanding and reading these habits will always keep aloof from all these things, okay, which is driving us. There's a very, very scary outside that young children as old as 8 years, 10 years are, getting into all these things just because of they hear certain things, or they get scoldings from their parents also. This is happening, when I go through a lot of news. So, being in association is very important. We have to understand that this kind of association, meeting every day, listening to Bhagavad-gītā, reading Bhagavad-gītā, will keep us away from all those negative thoughts. Okay, so that is the purpose of life. So I end my class here. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you again for the next class. Very eager. Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna, everybody.